Well, I'm excited. I know I'm always like right down to the wire for these.
I was glad that I made it on time. I just had enough time to eat quick lunch and sit down, and I was like, yes.
I brought my lunch with me.
No, I had to get
That's
coffee.
smart. I've got a soda and that's it. So
Yeah. It's working.
that's all I need though. Hello. What kind of coffee do you have, Tiff? Just how do you drink it?
I got it's the blonde roast flat with like almond milk at Starbucks. I like their like, what is it called? I was going to call it Rispato. That's something else. But it's like basically like their espresso shot over like oat milk or almond milk. And then of course I'm asking them to add like the sugar-free vanilla syrup and the sugar packets and all that. But it's good.
It sounds good.
I finally
Sorry.
remembered to make coffee ice cubes, so it makes your coffee so much better. Yeah.
That sounds good. I need that. It's 102 degrees over here, and I'm drinking.
Oh my
Oh,
Well, it
gosh.
doesn't water down your coffee, so it's amazing.
That's literally terrible.
It is.
102?
Doesn't make any sense. No more car updates during reading vlogs for me. I was like, I cannot do this. It's not that serious.
I was thinking about going to film a video in my truck today because Wanda is so loud. If she's not right next to me, she's barking. And then if she is right next to me, she's loud. So I'm like, where am I going to go to get away from this little terror?
She's so sweet. That she's gonna be upset that you're leaving her to go to the truck now.
I know, right? She's staring at me. She's with my son over there, and she's just looking at me like, excuse me, why are you not? Anyway, thanks for joining us for Reading Sprints today, everybody. I'm sure you know everybody here, but if you don't, I will have them linked down below. But maybe we could go around and just say what we're going to read, and you can introduce yourself, because Tiff hasn't joined us for Reading Sprints on my channel yet, so everybody can...
I like it. Okay. Well, I have two different options. Well, I mean, I have thousands of different options, but I have two different options today. I'm halfway done with Slave to Sensation. I'm annotating it, so I think I'll probably be working on this just because it's easier for me to focus on a physical book at reading sprints than when I have my phone in my hand all the freaking time. But also, the other book I really want to get into is Throne of the Horde King came out, and I really want to read this today. So we'll see if I jump into that or not. But
fun stuff. I'm in the middle of listening to the final book in the Pennyroyal Green series, The Legend of Lion Redmond. And I was a little bit worried about it because it's a second chance romance, and we've heard about Lion Redmond since book 1, and this is book 11. And so I was a little bit worried, but I think what was smart about how she crafted Lion Redmond's character is that you don't know too much about him and the heroine. Like, you just know they have a past, and that's it throughout the whole 11 books. So I'm very much enjoying it. There are flashbacks. Sometimes I'm iffy about those, but it's working. So I'm very, very happy to be in the final book. And then if I just so happen to finish the audiobook, I'll probably jump into Throne of the Horde King because I'm so excited about that one.
I need to get into that series.
Oh God,
my
it's so
gosh.
good.
I do too. I haven't even started it. I want
It's
to.
the last one.
That's what Avery was saying. She was like, it's good. I was like, oh my God, I gotta start. I'm gonna be reading. Well, I'm kind of caught in between Aphrodite and the Duke by J.J. McAvoy because I've started the arc for that, and Sam, I'm like, this is a good time to get some chapters in.
I'm so excited for that book.
I mean, so far I'm enjoying it, and I just love her trying to live up to that name of a goddess. It's good so far. And then I've started A Matter of Temptation by Stacey Reid. So I will probably be reading this during sprints. I'm an insomniac, so reading physically at the end of my day has been helping. Or this week. We'll see.
Melissa, I do reading sprints during the day because it works for me. So if you can't join us, I'm sorry, but this is pretty much.
They do them at
lots,
night a lot.
lots of people do them at night. I can never do them at night, so we're gonna do them.
But I replay action. I do replay reading sprints. It makes me feel like I'm reading with my friends.
Yeah.
So I like to do that too.
Yeah.
I just got a Scarlet Scott audiobook that I really want to start. I'm very excited about it.
Avery really likes her, so I want to try her.
Oh yeah, Talia.
Oh, Rachel likes Scarlet Scott too. Rachel was telling me about her.
Actually, one of the other ones I want to read soon is Talia Hibbert. I stack them all up on my coffee table, and then I have 10, and I'm like, you're not going to read all 10. Like, you're only supposed to bring the book that you're reading next. And I end up with it. I know. But then I don't stick to one when I have 10 of them there. So,
Hey, Corey.
Hey, girl.
Hello, everybody.
Yay.
So let's see. We'll just Ship of Magic. Is that Robin Hobb? What is that one? Ship of Magic. Who
That
wrote
sounds
it?
right.
I don't know.
Robin Hobb.
Reflected in You, Book 2 of the Crossfire. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I haven't read The Crossfire in a long time, the series.
I never read those or 50 Shades. I
read
Crossfire.
Crossfire back in like 2016 or something. I had never heard of Sylvia Day, and when I went to the RT BookCon in Vegas, like she was one of like the biggest attractions over there, and I was like, "Who is this?" And so I started reading her.
You reread one of them, though, recently, right?
I reread, I think last year, the first book.
Yeah.
And I like I didn't like fully reread it. I like skim read it, and I was like, I remember feeling like I really liked it. And then I reread it. I'm like, okay, that's enough. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, it's like I love series like that, but for me they're a one-time deal. Like
Yeah.
I love that series. It's the same for me. The Addicted to You, like how like I love those, but they were like I can't go back.
Yeah.
If you know how the drama plays out, it's like I can't handle you. But I loved I read the Crossfire series in like 4 days. I found all of them at a used store, which makes sense now because they are like on the 50 Shades. So they're in every used bookstore ever.
Yeah.
And I found the first 4, and I bought the 5th one. And yeah, I read them in 4 days, and I was like,
Yeah, I binged them too. I don't think that the last one was out yet though. When I was reading them.
yeah,
I'm excited about it. I haven't read it yet, but I remember my aunt had a book club, and when it came out, so I remember like walking in and them putting their books down. So like I am excited to read it. Yeah, I was like, I remember it being very popular. Them cackling in there, them drinking spiked lemonade, and just like having a ball drinking it. Reading it. So I'm excited to try it out.
I mean, it's one of those series that was like the pill, like not a pillar as in like, but like one of the 4 corners of what romance was like a decade ago almost.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those. So yeah, it was fun. I'm glad they're doing a read along with it. That's cool.
So isn't there something about that author? Like I know 50 Shades started as Twilight fanfic, but didn't she something about this author? Or am I no? Okay.
Well, I don't know.
I was like,
I do think she's one that like she sprung up in the same time. I don't know what fic.
I remember that.
I can't remember if these were a fic as well. Because there's some
they're very similar to 50 Shades, like in like they're both office romance type things, like so, and of course like he has like, the dark past or whatever that you have to discover what. So I feel like they're very similar, but I'm not sure if they're based on another book.
There's so many fics that there are that I had no idea they start as a fic. You know what I mean? Like, Beautiful Bastard was a fic, and I'm like, how? Like I don't see the parallels in the fics where people are like, this is all Twilight fan fiction. I was like, was it? What's similar? I'm like, I don't get it, but of course it doesn't have to be because it's similar.
Mm-hmm.
You told me that Sempre book, which I still love. I actually want to reread that. I think we should reread that.
Which one?
Sempre. JM.
Oh yes, yeah.
I still never read that one.
I didn't read it.
Well,
I
that's
read that like years and years and years ago, but I want to reread it again.
Yeah, those were I almost didn't think those were going to have an AGA. I was really worried about it because I was like, there's no promise in this that it will be, I was like, I don't know what I'm in for. I'm scared. But, yeah, good stuff.
Well, I am reading I'm probably going to listen to my audiobook right now. So since the weekend, I sort of dove into Elizabeth O'Rourke's book. So I'm reading Drowning Aaron. I can't see it, but
Yeah.
It's like the second to Waking Olivia. And I'm only I'm 12% in, so.
I'm excited to hear what you think because, like, when I finished Waking Olivia, I was going to read that one. And then I saw what the tropes were, and I was like, not in heaven. I want to know what you think, but I was like, nope.
It's definitely, I picked it because I just heard so much about Waking Olivia that sometimes I feel like I want to read a book that I haven't heard a lot about. Like, I want to do that a lot, So I want to go back and read Waking Olivia, but I was just like, I haven't heard anybody saying anything about this, and I kind of want to just go in and see how I feel. So
yeah,
we'll see.
That's kind of how I am about the Elizabeth works that everyone's reading right now. I'm like, I feel like I need to read them like soon before I hear too much about them, because then I won't want to read them anymore.
That's how I felt too.
These seem new, so
that's a big reason why I picked it up. Like, Zay was telling me about the second one, and then I saw Chandler loved the first one, and I was like, well, I want to try these, so I'm going to do it right now before I hear too much about it.
Yeah. They've been popping up in my rec form already, which is why I had the first one on there. And then I was like, I literally had no idea because I just read the third one last night. I was like, wow, I would not have guessed from the cover what this book was about.
Did you get any of my messages about that book? Okay.
No, and that literally cut off. You'll have to wait till I thought you might like it. Boom. And that was the last one. I was like, well, I have no idea how she felt about it, so I'll take it.
Well, you can read my Goodreads review if you want, but I will definitely tell you once my
I was like, I talked for 20 minutes about it, and Crystal was like, I thought you might like it.
They were sending just fine, and then all of a sudden it was like just stuck on sending, and I'm like, this is wonderful.
Yeah, that's okay.
But so yeah, that's what I'm gonna read and work. That's also why I do these during the days, because I can work while I'm doing them. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then my beautiful friends joined me because we all can do this at the same time. So how long should we go? Should we do 20 minutes or 30 minutes? Well, what do we usually do?
How many do you want to do? Yeah, let's start with that. You have to go before us. Like, we do a long time. So
let's just do 2. Is that okay?
Yeah. Well, that's why I asked, what do you want? I'll read all day.
I got to take my kid to work in a bit. Let's do 2 reading sprints for a half hour each. Is that good?
Yeah.
Fine. Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So let's just say 12:45 my time.
Perfect.
All right. Happy reading.
Hi, friends. Very softly say hello.
Dude, this is good.
I'm glad.
I love Stacey Reed. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. I knew you'd like that one.
Oh my gosh.
I have one of her other books on my TBR this month, and I'm excited about it. So
That was a fun first 20%.
yeah.
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 Okay, I'm back. Are you all ready to be unmuted now?
We were.
Jessen's still muted. Can you guys hear her?
Oh.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
I'm talking. What's that? I'm here, people.
All right. Let's see. Caitlin joined us. What were y'all talking about? I'm sorry, my husband called me and I didn't get really any read.
Stacey Reed. We were talking about Stacey Reed.
Oh yeah. Hey Samantha.
Yay.
Hello.
Seriously, the cutest.
I'm not used to reading on live. I forgot. Yes, you need to try Stacey Reed.
Probably
Oh,
the one that Tiff is reading because it's a standalone so far.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or
Imagine-
the My Darling Duke, the first one,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, do the new one, Caitlin.
A Matter of Temptation is top notch, amazing. You should definitely try that one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Enjoy. That was a long one. Talked a long time.
10 children. Wow.
Wow.
I'll be interested to know what you think about that one, Monica.
It just says 10 of her kids.
Yeah.
How many total, Monica?
More.
You double task, girl.
We're going to do another half-hour sprint. We
Yeah.
will.
We'll make sure not to talk too long and run out of Crystal's time.
The professional. Okay.
Hey, nice one.
I think that's the one I read, yeah. I still need to go back and read The Master.
I
Yeah.
need to read the final one in the series.
Yeah. Well, this sprint was only. Oh,
Candace, I can relate. I can relate.
How dare your husband keep trying to talk to you? Sprinting time.
he knows the rules by now, Candace. I don't know what he's doing.
Samantha was also reading that one. That's awesome.
Yes, you were. Oh, it made me happy.
13 children, Monica.
Oh, wow.
I was like, she said 10 of, and I was like, there's more.
That's impressive.
Amazing.
Yes, we
Love Alpha Mateo.
I'm so proud of you.
I want to go back and reread that. I listened to the audio last year, and then I bought the audio so I could always have it. But I think it's time for a reread.
Dude, Alpha does wild out. Oh, that's so, yes.
I
I
know.
need to do that with mine.
Oh yeah, I put them all in there. Although I wanted to frame them, but now I might just the next time she does, I'll just buy them again. That's what I'll do. Because I want them.
Less frame stuff.
Yeah, because I want them as step backs.
Yeah.
Done. I'm gonna put washi tape in so it stays in, but then I want to frame them because they're so pretty. I was looking at frames at Hobby Lobby yesterday to do them, so I'll just have to buy another set the next time. So.
Me too. I want Gareth and all of his tentacles.
I also want her to get art done for the boys.
Oh,
That can be this step back.
Yeah, I don't think honestly, well, I don't know if this is public knowledge, but Jamila, the artist, she's not gonna be able to do the art anymore because she got a new job.
So she can't do them ever?
Well,
Like,
I won't say ever, but her last 2 books in the series are coming out, within the next year. So I mean, maybe eventually to have it cohesive, but she still wants to have artwork of the couple. She's trying to find somebody with a similar style.
yeah.
But yeah, it's
There's a lot of great artists out there. I mean, these are
Yeah.
gorgeous, but
yeah.
she'll find someone.
That's unfortunate, but it could open a new and an interesting door.
It
A new
could.
relationship with somebody else. So
Too
Yeah,
bad.
and I see that Jamila has a new job too as well. So
I mean, I kind of. Have you fucking seen this art, Caitlin? Like, did you fucking see this? Yes, I want all of them.
And so for Don't Hex and Drive, she did 2 separate poses for the characters, and my favorite is Devraj and Isadora. And
Yeah.
I love the other pose too. And eventually I wanted Jamila to like fill it in, the other pose, and she's not gonna be able to do it anymore. I waited too long. So I'm like sad.
Beautiful.
So now those are exclusive.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yep.
Order them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she can still keep ordering. Like, Juliet has this.
Yeah, no, she owns the rights
Just
to
won't
all of that. She just won't have new couples in the same exact style as Jamila's
Yeah.
very beautiful artwork is.
Yeah, I was gonna start reading Persuasion today, but
I need to go pick my copy. For some reason, they did not drop my copy off in the mailbox, and I have to go to the post office to go get it. So I'm gonna do that. I was like, why? I was like,
well,
just
you'll
give
have
it to
a
me.
historical trek to the mailbox for your copy.
I'm so excited to talk with you all about Persuasion. Like,
Me too.
I actually have been
too.
thinking of like I want to read Persuasion and then I want to reread again The Magic like right after because that's like a Persuasion retelling, Persuasion inspired retelling.
Is it?
I think it will be fun.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I did that was new info for me.
I love Again the Magic.
I mean, again, the magic is much more tragic. Will be, in my opinion.
It's not an exact, but it's an inspired by
Inspired.
retelling. So,
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
me excited.
Mhm.
yeah. I heard about this and I don't really
What's that? I don't know about it at all.
Inform me, I'm not cool.
Yeah, who's talking?
it's well like Willow Winters and you know that guy with like the axe that everybody like
Yeah,
thirsts over, like I don't know, it sounds like it's a select group of indie authors. I don't know a ton about it. A select group of indie authors that are doing like unlimited audiobooks.
Oh.
So it sounds like it's similar to
Any play.
any play, but only with like a specific group of indie authors. So they hyped it up like a ton, and they didn't tell you what it was they were launching. They just hyped it up a lot on TikTok, and then when they launched it, I was like, "This is not revolutionary. This is."
yeah.
I mean, it's cool, but I just am sort of like, okay, like I don't know, but
I mean, you'd have to. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you make that, is it going to be exclusive to just those people's books?
right.
So
Yeah.
then, like, you'd have to really like their books to get that. Whereas you can probably
Exactly.
still get them. Like, are they not going to put their stuff on Audible or anything? Like,
Well, and that's the thing
That
that
would
is like
suck.
I hadn't heard of. Well, I don't know all of the authors that were involved. The only one that I saw post a lot about it was Willow Winters, and I've never read her books before.
Haven't either.
But
they've been.
I've read one and
for me.
yeah, I read one Captain
I've read
Captive
4.
Merciless.
Yeah. They.
That's all I'll say.
But either way,
Was it pretty good?
in disregard of like how hyped she has a lot of freaking books, so there's that. And like, I mean, I've seen authors do that with their own like Patreons, like you can get, but if those authors are going to take their books off of every other service to do it, because otherwise I don't really get the point unless it's going to be really cheap.
Right.
And are
That's why
they
do it if it's not going to be exclusive.
and are the audio narrators really good who are going to be doing it? Because it's like, if you're going to offer it for like cheaper, are you going to have discount narrators? Sorry to say that, but it's like, are you going to still have like Teddy Hamilton or them like doing yours if you
Yeah.
have to offer for cheaper? I don't know.
Well, I
I
think it's
really
this
never thought about
poor Bradley guy who's going to narrate them. That's the gist that I got.
Okay. I would have
On
to.
the, yeah, like on the one hand, I'm happy for them. It seems like
Oh,
a business move that they feel like they're making if they're gonna pull their stuff. Like I get that, but for me as a consumer, what's the incentive?
Yeah.
Because I'm not a Willow Winters like reader. I'm not gonna exclusively like buy into that. I'm gonna go to somewhere like Any Play where I can type in a name and get literally unlimited access, find new to me authors, have a good backlist going. So I mean, like I'm happy. Discount narrators.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that, but I mean like brand new people who they can still have a great voice and you'll want to listen to them. But the people that I love, they cost a lot of money. That's why,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean,
interesting. I mean, I always love when they'll try to their own business. I think that's one thing Willow
Yeah.
Winters, Katie Rock, like they are great at that.
Willow Winters is an incredibly savvy businesswoman,
Yeah.
and I really like her. I like her content when it's about like the author business, just because I think that's interesting. But I really don't have any desire to read her books.
I actually want to try some of her
Covers, but I've never had a desire to like pick one up.
Yeah. I liked her werewolf smut. There's still one more to come. Like I ordered the special covers of those. I like them enough to do that. But otherwise hers are all like they're very BDSM heavy, very dubious consent heavy, very like darker romance heavy. But I also know she has lighter romance that I just haven't tried it yet. So literally, Ash, I think she's up to like 63 books or whatever in the last in 5 years or something. So I'm not saying I don't ever want to read more of hers, but the stuff I have read, I'm just kind of like, I wouldn't exclusively get it. So, but if it's just starting with her stuff and will grow to other authors on TikTok, and like, I guess it all depends on how much they have to start with to offer. Because it's like, even with any play and like the, all the hangups that it has, it is definitely worth the cost of admission for me. For
Yes, it is.
what I like, but
I'm currently using right now.
yeah, like
Isn't it great? We get new releases on there. There's a huge backlist. It could be. They could bump up the speed a little bit, but I can deal with that because
Speed
of
needs
everything
work.
that it offers.
And if I search too many books in a row, it starts to get super glitchy, like when I'm building a thing. But
yeah,
I mean, it had
the search function on there, I think, is the glitchiest thing for sure.
Yeah, if I search more than a couple, it starts to like, can't handle it. Still, that's my point. Is like I'm willing to pay $10 a month for it because
it's still worth it despite the glitches.
Still worth it. Because especially for the historical backlist on there and the new releases coming like day of, like especially people who use like their like Libby, good luck trying to get a new release on there. You know, like you have to sign up for it way ahead of time for libraries. But interesting. I will have to dive into that and see what that's about, because I literally am on TikTok every day and I didn't see that in Willow's stuff, so I passed me by, I guess. But
I'd say I'm happy for them. It's always nice to hear like a new platform. I'm just interested to see what happens with it. Like, what are they going to do with it? What are they offering? I probably won't be buying it, but good business move for them. We'll see.
Yeah. I feel like I was hearing so much about it that I was like, when they finally released it, I'm like, I literally don't care. Just stop talking about it. But, you know, did Jen freeze, or am I the only one who's
No,
that?
Jen's frozen for me too.
Jen's frozen. Okay. The internet out here in the West is not great. Tiffany, how's your internet? Yours is probably good in Vegas. Huh?
It's good, but things take forever to upload. I don't understand. Like when I was watching like on Justice, she did like the booktuber like advice or whatever. I was like, my stuff's taking a lot longer to export and upload. What am I doing wrong? What's going on with my internet package? But for live streams, it works pretty well.
Yeah.
We have storms going over today, so mine just
okay.
Okay, let's see. So
should we do another? Oh.
Yeah, she's reading Overlord, which I thought was a pretty fun one. So she said I think they did have great banter in that one.
I want to read the next book in that series for sure.
I do too. I've got it on Audible. I just haven't.
A duke in shining armor.
I want to read more Loretta Chase. I haven't dove back into her since the Lord of Scoundrels last year. Yeah. And I'd only read one of hers before that. So, all right. Anyway, shall we sprint?
Yes.
Let's go until 1:30.
I'm at a good part.
Me too.
Sounds good. It was like, y'all stop talking and let's just read. Okay. See you in a half hour.
Hi, Joe. Before I mute myself.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank God I'm setting this up. Uh,
Whew.
Well, how
all the
was that,
drama
everybody?
with my phone today. Good.
Did you get disconnected?
Yeah, the internet wouldn't stay, so I had to switch to the data on my phone.
You said there was
Yeah,
lots of
they just was
passing
like
through right now.
looping. I mean, it's raining, but it's not like we have a hurricane or anything. I don't know. That's
Just one
my
of those
Chromebook too. It wasn't the one that freezes, so I'm just like the internet just kept blinking out. So, whatever.
How'd your book go, Jessin?
I'm at a very, very interesting part. Because they never really tell you why they separated.
Mhm.
And it's been like 5 years since they've seen each other. And the guy was assumed dead, even by his own family. So it was very, very interesting seeing what happened with them in the past. And what's happening now is exciting. So I'm at a good part.
That's awesome. Are you going to be sad when you're done, or are you going to go on to her other series, or?
I might try her other series too, but after this one, because I have read the last like 4 books in the past couple of days, I definitely will change genres. So the Horde King book for sure next, and then I'm gonna check out my July TBR. I might read the Lorraine Heath arc just to switch up authors. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Overlord. I love that too. Hey, thanks for joining.
Oh, Persuasion.
I also have the audiobook for the Mia Vinci, which I put on my TBR, and I just got the paperbacks today. They're huge. Jen, these are the size of the Phoebe book.
I see that.
It's huge.
But those covers are gorgeous. I saw
they're
that in your TBR video. I'm like, I'm gonna try her because the covers look absolutely
The
stunning.
audiobooks are really good, Tiffany. But they are on KU. All the books are on KU. So
Oh, wow.
she only
I
has
read the second
three.
book in that series.
This one?
Yeah, the second one I read.
That's
The
the
Wicked
only
Kind
one
of
I have
Pearl.
left. So I might listen to that one too. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, Tiff, how about you? Where did you get in your book?
If Simon does another Swoony thing, equitable pay, fighting for equal rights, saving dogs in the freaking rain, like he needs to stop. He needs to stop. He's such a little feminist. I cannot.
Did you see her post on Instagram where she was like, he's the hero most based on her husband, too?
Oh,
Oh,
I did
stop
not.
it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There was a video she posted, and it's adorable. You gotta go watch it.
I'm gonna watch it.
Simon is killing me.
He's so great.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, Clara, I
so
cannot
good.
wait. Clara,
Really can't.
I wish I could live in the Stay Spell like world.
I
would
do, too.
totally be getting my energy read, going to Sunday dinner, going to that book club. I'd put myself in some perilous situation to have a meet cute with them. Like, get me in the world. I'm obsessed with them. I cannot wait for. I've been waiting for Jules' book since book 1. I cannot wait.
I know, I can't. I was hoping that Jules would come earlier, but I figured she wouldn't since she was,
She's
like, that was
busy.
probably going to be Endgame. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to wait for her. She's next.
I can't wait. Oh my god.
I can't wait to see what the book cover is going to look like for hers. So,
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to have to deal with this. I don't know why, like, the audio on my phone is so quiet and it's not letting me use my headphones. So I'm just literally, like, so frustrated right now. It's annoying. But, okay, whatever. I just have to, like a granny, like, get up so I can hear you talk. But I got through finally the first like real life sex scene in the book. And if you've read the book, you know what I mean. There's a difference between real life in this one. And I literally don't understand why you haven't read this, Crystal. I'm just putting that out there because
I do that with a lot of series, especially if people are pressuring me to read them.
You just can't tell her about it. Eventually she'll pick it up.
No. Like with, and not talking about it, but I just mean the writing. Like Nailani Singh's writing is so sensual. It's so like sweet in the middle of like what's going on. Like I was just highlighting so much stuff because just the way that she writes these characters, they're so, it's just so hard to describe it, but I can literally see words you'll say in a reading blog when you finally read this book because it's so much your shit. I don't know what else to say. So. Because it's not the same, like, we go hardcore paranormal. It's like so romantic. It's so good. Like, oh my God.
That series is definitely my probably the most reread series ever that I own.
It's so comforting. Like I was saying this in my story, like I was crying just because of the family aspects and the like the love that's in the packs and stuff is just, I just feel that way with my family. So yeah, like, and the first time I read this was in June of 2020 when I like couldn't see anybody. And so I'm having all those feelings again where I'm like, oh my God, I remember this because Sasha's just so isolated and the pack is just like, we don't know if we trust you, but we'll hug you anyway. It's fine. So anyway, love it.
Well, I got some reading done, not as much as I would have liked, but I feel like so this is the fourth Elizabeth Rourke book that I've read, and I feel like with all of hers, they take such a long time to really get into the meat of the story that I'm still undecided about how I feel about this one. But well, I don't think they all do that, but three out of the four. Which I personally like, but I've heard criticism that people think that they're boring in that way, but that's what I want. I want to get into the story and not just, Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so.
Yeah.
Well,
what was everyone? I can't see any like comments with this, so.
Let's see.
Oh, lovely.
Morta said that can you read them on the screen now?
Oh, what'd she do?
She said you're selling it too well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, read the first one, Morta. Read the first one. And then read the 10th one. That's what you should do. Read the first one and read the 10th one and then decide if you want to read in between. No.
Nope.
I read 1 through 4 and then I said, fuck you, ma'am. I love you. I'm reading book 10 now. Bye-bye. And I read book 10 and then I went back and it was just fine. You don't have to listen to Jessin. It was just fine. No. Those books are torturous with getting around to the couples that you like.
Read them in order. They're fantastic. Bam. That's mine.
I stick by it. For sure, skip 8 and 9 if you get bored, because I was like, oh my God, these are so boring.
I love 9. I can't believe you don't like Drew's book. Drew and Indigo, are you serious?
Oh, I didn't remember that. Okay, I didn't remember that. I'm sorry. I mean, there was 2 in there that were boring out of my mind before the 10th book, in my opinion. Not Drew. Drew was fine.
I never read the cop one, the human cop one. I never reread that one. And then I have
read them, Candace.
Jen, you're wrong.
I did read them. I just skipped the ones where they weren't getting around to Hawk's book because I was like, stop it. Don't be this person. Nailani Singh does that a lot. But I did read them all, Candace. I didn't skip it forever. I just was like, this is stupid. And guess what? I read Hawk's book and it only took place like a week after the ones before it because this series goes so slow. But it was a lot. But
That's good.
no,
She
you should
does.
read them in order. You can read them in order. But Warda, just read the first one, and if you're not in love with it, you will be in love with it. So it's fine.
Be in love with it or else, basically.
Yeah, I mean, like, no, they're great. But I mean, you can't deny, Justin, we literally just talked about, like, the series gets boring. Like, there's stuff that gets boring. Like, it gets better, and it gets boring, and it's like,
There's certain books
You know,
for sure that I feel like
I feel like any long series
need
does
their
that.
story.
Yeah.
It's so long. It's one of like the longest running series that I still currently read.
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's bound to be boring books in the series. There's no way that she
Yeah.
can just like hit it every single time. She would be a machine if she did.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the majority of the books I really love.
it's just,
There are some that I'm like, we don't need those.
I do think it's fair to say, and we've said it, like, yeah, I think it's very solid 1 through 10, and then there's like, which ones are it, 13 and 15, like, and then there's a couple that are really good. But I just felt like things got like, okay, since I'm not a super nerd for these, I don't even know what's going on anymore, because there was like so much happening. So I was like,
Yeah.
I may have
But
spelled this
when
wrong. We
I'm
got a
in
couple
it-
of questions about what it was. It's
That's it.
Side
Yeah,
Changes
what-
series.
when I'm in it, that's my point, is I'm like in this series back in with this one, I'm like, oh man, I want to read all of them, but I won't, because I'm like, no, just read your favorite ones.
I'm
Like, I like
grateful that
Mercy's
I am
book.
caught up with it. And I just
Yeah.
read the arc for the newest one that's coming out this year. So I'm caught up with it. But
Yeah.
I also feel like if I were her personally, I would do a spinoff and like have like some
Yeah.
years pass in between. I feel like we
Yeah.
need like the next generation if she still wants to stay
Mhm.
with like, the facts and stuff. Like there's maybe one
Yeah.
more person that I feel needs a book and the rest are just kind of extra. So I feel like a
Yeah.
next generation would probably be like good right now, honestly.
Yeah, that's tough, because, you know, and who knows what she really has planned in her head, but it's one of those, you know, your series becomes impenetrable when you don't have it break at those, you know, especially because so much of the history like does roll over from book to book. Whereas I feel like with Kresley Cole's books, until she actually has the like big shebang happen, you can kind of jump in quite a few places, as I've said. But with Side
Yeah.
Changeling, there's so much setup about who the Psy are and what's going on.
Yeah, the whole
this book,
silence
so.
thing, it's quietly happening in the background in all the books, and it's still not quite settled, which is why I feel like we've been in this overarching storyline for a very long time, and it's time to like solve that problem, and then 10 years, 20 years later, we have new problems. So to answer your question, I do like the majority of the new ones. Like Wolf Rain was top notch. I freaking loved Wolf Rain. Like it felt like I was going back to the original books, like the original 10. But I don't care as much about like the whole, like what's going on in the overall world. I don't really care about that as much. And I used to a lot, but now I don't, because I'm just kind of like, it's the same thing happening over and over again, you know? So.
Yeah, when I got further out, I'm like, I want to be with my packs again. Why are we dealing with all this politics and all this? And I'm just like, no, I want to be back in the dens with everybody. I want to be in the tree houses. Like, what are we doing? Because it's just so warm.
Psy pairing. I want there to be a changeling in the relationship, at least one changeling. But I don't like the Psy pairings. I only like Psy changeling pairings or two changelings. And
two changelings, yep. From different breeds, specifically.
Have you read this, Tiffany? Or are you the same as me?
I've only read the first book.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some good ones.
Go back to it, or were you kind of like, I'm good with just one?
No, I definitely want to go back to it. I was reading it during, what is it, like the paranormal read up. So I was like, I was at TBR. Then I got busy with other things, but like it made me swoon.
And there's so many books, it's kind of intimidating. It's like, I'm never going to catch up with this. So it's intimidating.
Yeah. There are a lot.
Yeah. But that's why I think, like, just start with them. Just start a couple. The audiobooks, I think, were those on AnyPlay? I think they are.
I think they are.
Because
And
I
I didn't-
listened to one of the newest, one of the Bear books, one of the Bear Changelings I listened to on there. So I think they're on there. So, just listen to one or two and see. The narration is the same as the Mackenzies, which is why I liked it when I started, because the same as the Mackenzies. So
Those are good. I might pick a readathon to just like sometimes I want to pick just one series and we're gonna take this readathon time to just get through this series. I might do that.
yeah.
But then everyone's posting what they're reading, and then I'm like, wait a minute.
I know.
Yeah.
You get FOMO.
It's so hard.
Yeah. It's so hard to reread a series right now. Like, man, do I want to. Like, that's why I'm like, maybe I can
Yeah.
talk myself into rereading books. Like, is it six? Whichever Mercy and Mercy's book and like Hawk's book. Like, I really want to read those.
Mercy's, I think, is
Is that
five.
6? 5
Number
or 6?
5,
Yeah.
I believe. Maybe. It might be 6
Either
too.
way. I don't. Whichever number it is. Okay. I want to read Mercy's book and
Branded
Hawk's
by
book.
Fire. That's what it is.
So
But yeah, those are good. Yeah, rereading's hard. I recently just reread the whole Kate Daniels series, and like took me a while to do it because I was only reading it at night. Like I was like, you can
Oh,
only
yeah.
read the chapters at night before you go to bed. So
yeah. Well, and I wanna reread some Immortals After Dark, but I'm just like, I can't fall into that hole. Like I can't. But with getting my Lothair, I want to reread Lothair is what I want, but I also want to read some other ones that I'm like, no, I can't. Like I can't. So that's hard.
I've got books to reread for San Antonio that I want to annotate. So I need to get to it
Yeah.
now before it's like I
That
have
one's good.
10 books that I need to annotate before. I should start now.
I feel like Heart of Obsidian was like the last great book of like the first set, and then she kind of
Mhm.
started fumbling around, and then I feel like Wolf Rain is the next strongest book to me
Oh wow.
after Heart of Obsidian.
I'm actually gonna write this down. Hold on.
Well,
Wolf Rain just
and-
felt so like kind of like, Slave to Sensation. Like it just felt like that again.
Yeah.
And I love
Okay.
But and like just to throw it in, like by saying the last great, like it's still Neilani Singh. Like you're still not gonna have a bad time reading the books. We're just saying like it punches better than some of the ones in the middle there. It's like Cressley Cole doesn't have a bad book, but she has ones that are better than others.
Yes.
Same
exactly.
with
It's not that I hate any of the books in the series, but
Yeah.
there's some that just you can't stop thinking about, and
Yes.
that's what I'm measuring. I'm measuring Nalini Singh
Yes.
against Nalini Singh. That's what I'm
Mhm.
doing. So, and it's hard.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm like, I need to remember that.
point being, it was amazing.
Read it if you have
Well,
time.
I know. Yeah.
So, when do you have to go bring? Is it Porter to work?
Yeah, Porter. I gotta go right now.
Okay.
All right.
It was fun chatting with you,
This
though.
was
It
fun.
was fun. Thank you for joining us for our reading sprints. This was very fun. And see y'all soon. Okay?
Bye, guys.
Bye.